Hello, I'm excited to be here today to take you through one of my favorite extensions, one of my go-to tools, and it is a mail merge tool. But before we get too deep into it, let me take you through what mail merge actually is. So, you may not realize this, but in Gmail, there is a mail merge tool that you can use. And essentially, what you do is you go into your Gmail as if you're going to start a new email to anyone. So, when you're going to compose an email, and instead of just adding the recipient to the to bar here, you actually want to go over to where it has these little people and the plus sign and click there and then add or tick mail merge. You can also add from a spreadsheet if you want, but what we're doing right now is mail merge. So do that first, and then what will happen is everything will turn purple that you're looking at, and you will see the option to add first name, surname, full name or email as a merge item. So essentially what you're doing is you're gathering a group of people together to email them as if it's a personalized message directly to them. And so it's collating information based on emails that you already have, or people that you're going to, send an email to specifically based on a list or something that you have going on. It also includes by default an unsubscribe link. So that just makes sure that people that receive that can unsubscribe if they don't want to be part of that email mail merge blast. So that gives you a bit of a quick kind of demo or explanation of what mail merge is. Now, before we get into this too much deeper, I wanted to say hello and introduce myself. My name is Bree Boucher. I'm an introvert, I am Australian, and I'm a NLP, clinical hypnosis, EFT practitioner. I'm a coach, strategist, and mentor. So I work with introverts who are creatives, coaches, consultants, and we work together to scale their business with collaboration bundles. I love collaborations as marketing fuel, I suppose. And then what we do after we get those people on your email list, we actually then want to sell them something, right? So we're going to launch something to them. I am the host of the free Facebook group Bundles of Bundles. I have a couple of memberships, Bundle Better, Collab Better, and a signature program called Launch Like an Introvert. Plus, you might have heard of me through Bundles of Bundles, and I have an innovative system in order to create your own bundle in a very particular way, and it's called the Bundle Flipbook. So that's a little bit about me. Let's get straight back into it, and let me take you through how you can use mail merge, but let's do it a little bit better. So I already showed you really briefly how you can kind of play with this in your Gmail inbox, and that's great, like that's pretty good. It does a little bit of things. It doesn't do everything, and what you'll have noticed if I scroll back up is you only have a few different things you can include as the mail merge tags, right? You can only use someone's names or their email. However, there are other tools, and I'm going to take you through one particular tool that I love to use, which is called Mail Meteor. And there are other tools that are essentially extensions on what you can do with the native Gmail mail merge. It does it in a different way, but it's the same premise, right? That we're going to send a bulk email to people and we're going to actually make it personalized. So the one that I'm going to show you is the one that I use, which is Mail Meteor, and that is a Google extension. And so it can be used like a standalone product, but I obviously love to use it within the Google Suite and the Google Workplace. So let me take you through how I use that today. This is just their homepage, just so you can kind of get a glimpse of what it looks like. Now, there's a few different ways you can use Mail Meteor within the Google Workplace. The first one is to go into or use the kind of option within your inbox in your Gmail to actually reply to people in that way. And some of the easiest ways that I do this is we label an email within my inbox, and then I can actually export the list of people and create a sheet based on that. And I can actually then create campaigns directly from my inbox. So what that looks like is, instead of going to compose, I go on my sidebar and I go into campaigns, and first off I see like all of my recent records here, but if I want to create a new one, I will click new campaign here, and then that shows us this option. So here we can actually select recipient. So I can copy and paste a list of names into this. I can use a contact list that I might already have in Gmail. And the other option is to use Google Sheets or a CSV file and upload those. So the one that I tend to do is having like a CSV file or a Google Sheet, and that gives me more options, which I can show you in a moment. But basically, you're going to treat this exactly like you're going to send an email out to your regular email list. So your subject line, your body of the emails here, but you might notice things that are a little bit different, and this field here allows you to select particular fields within a spreadsheet, or essentially like the name, the email, those sorts of things can be captured. But the best way to use it is in a spreadsheet, because then you can have different columns and different fields that you can include in that email. So I will show you what that looks like and how you can utilize that in just a moment. But while you're seeing this as well, you can see there's some other things that just up level what the native option was that I showed you in Gmail. So we have the option to schedule send, so we can send an email out at a particular time. We can send them on autopilot, which essentially allows us to send them out, but allows the kind of duration between an email to be specified by you. And so the reason we might want to do this is if we're sending out in bulk a lot of emails, we want it to send them with some time in between, so that the receiver doesn't see it as a spam kind of email, and so that it is more likely to hit their inbox. You can also track emails, which I definitely recommend because it allows you to be able to do certain things. And then unsubscribe link, clicking that on as well is really important if this is a email that's sort of still in the marketing space. If it's an email to a group of people that you're communicating to about a particular, like a transactional based email, you won't necessarily need the unsubscribe link, but you might as well just turn it on just to cover your butt, I suppose. That would be something that I recommend thinking about. As you can see here, this is the labels feature. So I won't go into detail on this because this is probably its own presentation, and there might very well be something for you to watch about this in particular. But essentially, I can filter emails that come into my inbox into a particular folder, essentially. A label is a folder. And from there, I can export. So let me show you that little export button that comes up for me, because I have this extension installed in my Google's like workspace and all those sorts of places. So this means I can now export from essentially my inbox, from folders, wherever I want to, and I can then use that as a CSV file and import that into Google Sheets, and I can then extract information. So as I was saying before, we have the option to grab specific columns or elements within a sheet and add that to the copy or the body of the email. So let me show you what that looks like with the example that I use pretty much all the time. For me, I prefer to do this in Google Sheets because of the reasons I'm going to show you in a moment. Firstly, I can export like a group of people, so it makes it really easy for me to grab people that are replying back to my emails, and then I can put them into a Google Sheet. And so what you're seeing here, I'm not showing you the email because I want to make sure that I protect people's identity, but you can see we've got our first name column, there would be an email column, there is this link column as well, and then the campaign status is what Mail Meteor adds to the report that it's doing as it goes through. So in this example, I can email someone directly and use their name, and then I can also include a specific link to something that's relevant to them. So in this example, I've sent people personalized Voxer messages. So you can see there are some that are like not personalized. They're this sort of like, hey lovely, nice to meet you, or whatever. Whereas this one is a, hey Alison, so great to hear from you, etc., etc. And this is a really great way for me to target and have these particular fields pop up and just make it really easy for someone to receive like a message from me that's really tailored and, as I say, personalized to them and their situation. So that's kind of like the two different ways that I love to use this tool. And as I say before, you can track and see the status of the actual campaign. So whether the email was opened or sent, when it's been clicked, you can see that as well. So really great kind of way to track things and see how you're going. So the next option that you have is obviously Mail Meteor's own dashboard and website. So within the website, you can click into individual campaigns and look at things in more detail and see, how things are tracking. You can actually see that already in your inbox as well. So if you don't want to go to that website, you can see the campaign status and you can see what's scheduled, what's active, what's happening at any given time. And you can see how things are kind of progressing with regards to how many opens we've had, how many clicks we've had, that sort of thing. So we can obviously see that on Mail Meteor as well. And we can see the same concept in each of these campaigns. We can keep our templates here. So every time you actually want to send out an email, you can either use an existing template that you've created, or you can create a fresh template at any given time. And essentially that's just a template is a new message. And so, you can, assume that some of these won't be templatized, whereas these were, a duplication. I needed to send an initial group of emails out to 66 people, and then a couple of days later, I still was receiving more responses, so I needed to send another 16 people. So I already had this template. I could then just select that and, shoot it off really quickly. So it's a very fast process and makes things a lot quicker. And I really enjoy doing this. I sometimes, for various reasons, just do send them out through Mail Meteor, but probably, as I said before, my most favorite is going through Google Sheets, and you actually add it as an extension within Google Sheets and go into add-ons in there, and then you just run it straight from that sheet as well. So really, really fast and simple. So the full demo of how I use Mail Meteor is going to be included in a free gift that you can sign up for at the end of this presentation. One of those examples that I was showing you before is that voicemail message. So I have, hey there, first name. I just recorded you a short message to check in with you, and then I have the link here and my name, right? So that link, if I scroll back up, is this one here. So we have, hey, first name, I've just recorded you a voicemail to make sure you listen. Here's the link, and then the link is below. And so that's an embedded URL, basically, that that individual person will see based on their line in that spreadsheet. So yeah, really fantastic. And I'm sure there's some other ways that I'm sure you could probably have a think about, other fields you can add in as necessary as well. So that's just one example of how I've used it. There are a whole bunch of other use cases that you could implement yourself. So this main example, the one that I've kind of shown you a few times now, or how I've used it for the most part, is when I send out an email to my inbox, to my entire email list, I do a thing which is called hand raiser emails. And so in essence, what I'm asking someone to do is to reply to my email with a particular keyword. And when they do that, I can easily then filter the responses, put them into a folder, and export that group of people and send them a reply that way. That saves me a hell of a lot of time, especially like you saw before. I had like 66 responses in one. In another, we had 84 responses for a particular like email campaign. And I needed to be able to do that really quickly without going copying and pasting. Like this, to copy and paste, even though it's like a canned response and the same email goes out to the same person, for me to copy and paste that and like put their first name in is just a lot of time consuming. And if it's not me doing it, it's my VA doing it, and so I'm paying them to do the same thing. And like, if we say that it's like 30 seconds each, that's still a lot of time when we're sending out a lot of emails like this. And you can see I've done it as well with smaller groups of people, because it's just like instant, like it's almost instant basically. I've got to write the email anyway, and it's really just like almost like kind of grouping someone together and then sending it out. It's very similar to if you were just to BCC a group of people, but you get that added benefit of like the personalization. So hand raiser emails are whenever I get people replying back to me. And I go into that concept more in the freebie. If you're curious about doing that as a strategy, it works amazingly well for me. As you can see, getting 80 replies to one email is phenomenal. And I've used this in a variety of different ways, to sell workshops, to get people onto a wait list, to give them free gifts that are really targeted to what they're needing support with. And so, yeah, 100% believe that is a great strategy for you to try out. And this is where, like, me using Meteor was born out of me finding a way to do this sort of reply process really fast and easily. So that's where it kind of came from for me. The other ways you can use this concept or the mail merge idea is when you're sending bulk emails to people like collaboration partners or affiliates in particular. If they're not already on your email list or you don't want to add them to your email list, this would be where or why you would send that out through this method. Again, you can then easily see like who's clicked through and who's done certain things based on the email that you sent. Whereas if you were to just BCC them, you don't get that tracking data. So another thing I showed before was to send personalized voice messages or video. So this would be an alternative to using a tool like Bonjoro. So as I showed you before, I am sending these people a short voice message, and what actually this link is a link in my Voxer. So when I go into my Voxer account, I can send a message to myself, and then I can actually go ahead and share that URL, that link, with anyone. And when I do that, I not only through this method I can see when they've clicked on it, so I know that they're listening to the message, but also when they open it up on their phone, or if they have logged into Voxer on their computer, it will like kind of connect them to my inbox as a contact. So I now know what their Voxer handle is. So if I wanted to initiate or continue the conversation, I can do that really easily based on that. So that's a really great way to do Bonjoros when you just want to do a voice message. The other option is to do really short Loom videos. You can use your phone. I don't know if you realize on your Loom app, you can use your phone to record audio only Loom videos, which are just like your kind of like your face. You don't need to screen record like I'm doing right now. And then you get obviously a URL for every video that you record in Loom, right? So you can then send that to someone. Like the way that Loom works is you can like use the tool to click, and then like it'll open up your Gmail or wherever, your mail account, and then you can send an email through that. Or you can just copy that URL and put it into a spreadsheet, and then, you know, if you're doing this in bulk, let's say, you can then send that email to that individual person with their name and their link to that Loom. So essentially exactly like this, short message to check in with you. Instead of it being a voice message, it's a video. So really cool way to reduce, you know, your costs if you're using tools like Bonjoro as outreach concepts. Other than that, you know, if you're wanting to send out emails to like micro groups or specific cohorts of people, so particular customers for a particular offer, if you're like, if someone's already purchased a particular product and you want to, you know, grab that list of people and you want to offer them something specific, then you can use this tool to send them an email and track whether they're opening, whether they're clicking the link, all that sort of stuff. So, you know, anytime you want to track opens or click-through rates, this would be where you would use it. And then, like I said before, anytime you would use BCC, blind carbon copy is what that is, if you weren't aware. And blind carbon copy is so that people don't see who you're messaging all at the same time, so that it's protecting the receiver from their email being kind of exposed to a group of people they don't know. So you would use BCC pretty much every time you want to send a bulk email out to people you're collaborating with, or otherwise other groups of people that don't already know each other. So BCC, but the benefit that you're able to personalize the email, you're able to see the clicks, you know, there's so much more that you have here as an option. Now, your kind of like last question here might be, that sounds great, but why wouldn't you just use your email service provider? So there's a few reasons. One of them is some email service providers are actually quite limited in what they can do. I used to have Flowdesk as my email service provider, and it was pretty good to a point. I have now upgraded to a different email service provider that I prefer. But when I was using it, and for people that already have it, they will know that you can't really tag people. You can only segment a group of people. And so in our Flowdesk accounts, we would have heaps of segments of people that are just specific to a particular campaign or a particular thing or offer that we wanted to, you know, share with them. And that seems like really messy. It's problematic. And so some service providers like this don't offer a really easy way for us to tag emails, like tag people in our email account. The other thing is, like, when you've set up the extension, all of this stuff is already in your inbox. So like, why add more complexity? You know, you don't even need to export the list of people. If there are already contacts in your inbox, you can then, you know, grab that particular list and it's done. Like, it just really, really quick. And, you know, even to the extent of like just exporting that list and using, you know, a formula to extract the email account and the name from the field that you get can, you know, seem like that would be time consuming, but I promise you, with my help, and it's in the freebie that you can grab below, it's really, really fast. You'll be surprised at how quickly you can do this. You might want to avoid having like tens of different tags and segments within your email service provider. If you want to keep your email service provider like tags really tight and specific, then you might not want to have this person or this group of people replied to this email with this keyword. Like, it's particularly like, it can be quite messy when you have a lot of tags and segments in your email service provider, and like, we want to avoid that, right? So this just simplifies it and takes it out of the email service provider. You perhaps may not want to actually add people to your email list, so therefore you can't send them an email through your service provider in case you accidentally include them in a marketing email when they're not meant to get them, So examples would be if you're hosting a bundle or a summit and your contributors or your speakers are people that are, signing up to be communicated to by you about the summit, but they're not really someone that, or haven't requested to be added to your email list. You can't just add them to your email list, right? So by adding them to a spreadsheet and then using that spreadsheet as your communication strategy through this tool, Mail Meteor, it's making sure that you don't have any of those mistakes, and it just keeps them kind of like contained to that group. So really great way. Again, it's the alternative to just blind copying everyone into an email. It allows you to be able to see like what they're doing and how they're kind of going about things, what they're clicking on. And then, as I've said before many times, which I just said then, you can see them whether they're clicking through to links on the sheet itself. So you can easily go ahead and extract those people that are clicking through and then add them to another sheet and send another follow-up email, or doing a Loom video or something like that to follow up with them. Hey, I saw that you'd clicked on the message in this in my last email, did you have any questions about XYZ, like that sort of thing. It just means you can get even deeper in on those conversations, and because you can see, as I showed you before, like the emails being sent, emails being opened, and then emails being clicked, you can then personalize those messages specifically for those people. So, as I said a couple of times, there's a free gift that you can access from me. Inside that, you're going to see a Mailmerge demo, so my Mail Meteor demo in more detail than what I've shared with you today. So you can kind of see the intricacies and how it all plays out. I'm going to share with you my Handraiser case study. So in that, you'll have access to the emails that I've sent out, like the exact copy that I've written, the subject lines. You're going to get a swipe bank of all of my subject lines that I've done and why they work, and how you can tweak those for yourself. But yeah, you get to see how it's all worked, how many email replies I received for a particular response, and then if I did any follow-up emails, how those played out. And in essence, all of this is happening in Mail Meteor through Google Sheets for the most part. That's how I'm doing it. So really cool thing for you to check out. I'd love for you to grab that and get a little bit deeper into this concept. I think that there's a lot of different use cases, even beyond what I've shared here, that you'll probably have your mind ticking over now as the different ways you could use this in your own business. I'd love for you to share with me if you do end up implementing this as a strategy within your business, as a tool within your business. Come find me over on Instagram. I'm at the Bree Boucher, so that is TheBreeBoucher. And yeah, let me know, send me a message, tell me if you end up using this and how you have implemented it and how it's working for you. All right, I'm going to finish off here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Make sure you grab that freebie, and I will see you in another video down the track, I'm sure. All right, lovely. See ya.